When it comes to action RPGs, nothing says iconic like Act 2 and the desert. Most modern ARPGs are built upon the temple that Diablo 2 created, and even Blizzard couldn't get away from this convention with its sequels. It's a really stunning and beautiful environment, with harsh landscapes and incredible expanses. But just like the real desert, it's where a lot of the dryness and fatigue starts to set in, where the honeymoon phase usually tends to end for a lot of people. These games usually have a really strong first act to suck you in, and a climactic finish, but the middle is where many struggle to keep people invested. So how is Path of Exile 2 different? By taking all of your expectations of ARPGs in the past and breaking them. This isn't to say, hey, you're not going to the desert, because you are, but where this game really shines is spectacle. Changing things up from Part 1, Act 2 sees you traveling around the desert on a caravan, a mobile base of operations. This alone is already really impressive. I mean, just look at how cool this is. But it also changes what the game allows itself to do by opening up a faster mode of travel. Rather than change the landscape rapidly from zone to zone, you can now account for a more wholesale yet gradual change in the environment without breaking the immersion. Aren't you just wandering around building the Herodic staff from Diablo 2, you might ask? Look, there's some truth to that, but I see it more as an iteration on that formula, building upon their inspiration and making it fit into their game. And the game speaks to it being just that. Grinding Gear Games has really knocked it out of the park with their art direction, and their locations are all really stunning. Spectacle isn't limited to an action that a person takes. It can sometimes be just an impressive sight, a step back that makes you appreciate the beauty of what's right in front of you. There's a difference between having a beautiful setting, which many ARPGs do very well, and having moments like this. Living in each environment is some new creature that scrambles in, whether disguised as the ground like these golems, or hiding in plain sight like a terracotta army coming to life around you. Beetles swarm in. Spiders skitter down from their webs. Rocks stuck in the ground turn out to be crabs. Meanwhile, hyenas are already there, hungry, like they're stalking the sands for food. It feels natural, like this is how it should be. And then there's the boss designs. This is the biggest spectacle of all. The Act 1 finale was special in giving you that real lost in the woods with a pack of wolves feeling. But Act 2 is designed to make you feel small. For every pack of beasts you slay, there's a colossus waiting underground. What's at the top of the tower siege? A mess of bones and magic that's ready to crush you into dust. And if you're not prepared for these threats, they just might. They continue the philosophy of making every boss memorable. Act 2 is also where you see your character's progression reach new heights, as the trial of the Sekhemas challenges you to unlock your class ascendancy. I initially made a chronomancer, a time wizard, although I'm finding myself wanting to try them all. While this also serves to keep your interest by offering you something new in terms of character progression, it also breaks up the gameplay with the type of challenge it offers. It demands you not get hit at all in order to succeed. Suddenly, the skills that you thought might be useful in investing in might be reconsidered for being too slow or dangerous. It asks you to really change up your strategy. And here's your spoiler warning for the end of Act 2. But fusing all this together, boss design, level design, and character progression, is where we find the finale for Act 2. You find yourself atop an even bigger caravan than your home base, moving from platform to platform atop tremendous beasts, in search of Jaman Ra, the boss that got away. As you approach the vanguard, the platforms sprout tentacles and limbs, a sure sign of the beast's influence. Without hesitation, he transforms into the Abomination, a sick manifestation of corrupted power. What was merely a warm-up round when you encountered him earlier is now a full-blown combat, dodging his lightning, avoiding the limbs that seek to tear you apart, and bearing witness to the power of the winds themselves. And when things aren't going his way, he changes the game completely by slicing the platform in half. But he's not finished yet. you awaken to the power of his colossal sandstorms. With sword and spear, he attacks without mercy, each manifesting at a moment's notice. What he lacks in mobility, he gains in a mastery of the elements, trapping you between pillars of lightning, wind, and fiery stone portals. One of these things can mean your doom, but it's a combination of these hazards where you really find the true spectacle. Here, in all this chaos, the glorious moment of realization, where you see all the things happening before you and attempt to thread the needle to try and make it all make sense and find a path to victory. It would be easy for the developers to make something straightforward and good on top of their already impressive first act. But the care and innovation, the spectacle they delivered to show their bold vision, continues to shine through to Path of Exile 2's second act. The final act of Early Access might have some growing pains since it has to end somewhat abruptly, but I'm looking forward to seeing how it closes out for now. If you enjoyed this video, consider subscribing and stay tuned for more. Thank you so much for watching.